So yesterday I was all excited. I had this great idea for a video because I went to this record store a long time ago. Because I bought a skateboard a while back because I used to skate when I was young, and then a few years ago I got this hair up my ass where I was like, fuck, if I had a skateboard, I would skate again. So I got some money and I went to, because it used to be a bar and then it was a skate shop. So I went there. I bought a skateboard. It was funny because while they were assembling the skateboard, my friend Ray calls me and he's like, hey, what's up, man? And I'm like, hey, because it was my birthday. He's like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And I was like, I'm walking near the skate shop. Because the skate store used to be a bar where like bands played. Like I had friends that had bands and they'd play at that bar. But now it's not the bar anymore. It's a skate shop. But my friend Ray, he calls me and it's like, oh, I'm walking by the skate shop. He's like, why are you walking around the skate shop? I'm like, because I'm waiting for them to put my skateboard together because I just bought a skateboard. He's like, really? You bought a skateboard? I'm like, yeah. And by the tone of his voice, I can't tell if he's like mad at me because I'm too old to buy I was like, why is that? Why do you care? He's like, oh, no reason. And then I hear him holler to his wife. He's like, hey, guess what Damien Ross is doing right now? For some reason, he calls everybody by their full name. And she's like, what? I don't know. Because I can hear her. He's like, he's buying a skateboard. He's buying a fucking skateboard. Can you believe that? He's buying a skateboard. I was like, what? What is your issue with me buying a skateboard? He goes, you know why I'm pissed that you're buying a skateboard? Because I got you a skateboard for your birthday. I've been kind of piecing it together and thinking like, oh, one of these days I'm going to give it to Damien and he'll go skate with me. Now you're at the skate store buying your own board. After all this time, I have all the pieces together. I was like, well, now I feel like a dick, but they should be. I could have put a skateboard together by now, but like, I'm sorry. My bad. We can still skate together. But fast forward a little bit, and I was going to go back to that skate store because I wanted some shoes. I wanted new shoes because, like, lately, like buying shoes, it's like, where do you go to buy shoes anymore? But I was like, I also want durable shoes. Oh, I bet you if I go to the skate store, they would have skate shoes because skate shoes have always been the best. Like the fucking Airwalk NTS is my favorite shoe of all time. I loved my green NTSs. The black ones were cool too. My friend Joel had the black ones and the green ones at one point. I had the green ones. They were awesome. They were like, that was the toughest shoe I ever had. So I go back to that store thinking, well, they got skateboards and all this stuff. Maybe they got shoes. I didn't know. I wasn't looking for shoes the last time I went. So maybe they had them. Maybe I didn't. I didn't notice. And I go and it's not a skate store anymore. The skate store is gone. Now, granted, like a year or so has passed. But now it's a comic book store. Which, at the same time, like, that's cool too. It's just, I can't buy shoes at the comic book store. But it's like big. Like they kick down the wall. It's twice as big. They got so many comics and they got toys and stuff in there too. So I was like, well, this is cool. But I need shoes. I don't need reading material. I need shoes. But next door, there's a record store. This is where the story was originally going. There's a record store next door. And I had this great idea because a year or so ago, I was looking at their records and they had the first Mr. Bungle out, the self-titled album. And it was $35. It's 2 record set. And I was like, like at the time I was like, I've already bought this on tape, CD, and I bought it on iTunes. I'm good. I put as much money in the album as I'm going to. But at the same time, I'm like, this is my Desert Island album. This is my favorite album of all time. Like, hands down. It's my easy. People are like, what's your favorite album of all time? Mr. Bungle. What's your second favorite? I don't know. That's tougher. But my first one, this is the album I can't. This album, and there is a close second with like Rollins Band and The Silence. But it's like, this is the album that it just made me happy. And so I was planning for the last couple hours at work. I was like, I should totally make a video. I should go buy that fucking record, open it on film, and then explain like what Mr. Bungle and Faith No More and Mike Patton what that album means to me and tell the whole story on it and everything. And so I'm like all gung-ho. I'm like, I got the script going in my head. And so after work, I go to the record store and I walk in and it says like, masks are not mandated, but it is appreciated. So I feel like a piece of shit. I'm like, oh God. I'm going to walk in here. There's nobody else in there except for the guy that works there who's like behind the counter. And as the door's closing, I can't tell what he says, but there's gloves, but the door's loud enough that it blocks him out. So all I hear is this, put some gloves on. I'm like, well, I know what I'm here for, so I'm kind of in and out. So I put the gloves on. Like, I was literally there short enough that, like, I didn't have the glove all the way on when I left. But I walked in. I go to the M section. I'm like, all right, Mr. Bungle. And it was crazy because the time I'd been there before, all they had was the first Bungle album. All I'm coming for is the first Bungle album. I get in there. I find they have every Bungle album except for the first one. They went from only having the first one to having every album except for the first one. And I was just like, motherfucker. And I'm trying to put the gloves on. I was like, and then it's that awkward feeling where it's like, I gotta leave without buying anything. I'm thinking, luckily the albums are like wide enough that like if I stole one, it'd be pretty obvious. Like, it's pretty obvious I'm not walking out of here with records under my shirt, but it's still that shitty feeling. But it's like, yeah. So yeah, you guys lost out. You guys don't get to hear my Bungle story. That's the Bungle story you get to hear instead of like the great, how awesome that album is. Someday I'll find it and I'll do a video on it. But I was disappointed. And it was Friday the 13th yesterday when it happened. And so part of me was like, because I'm always like, I always have better luck on Friday the 13th. But I got there and I was like, maybe Friday the 13th is catching up with me. Maybe I don't have such good luck. I don't know. It's weird. It's a pisser though, because I was excited about doing that video. Now it's not going to happen. All right. That's it.